Back in January, I ran 100k, and then in March, I released this video explaining why I regretted it. But since doing that, I've actually hit quite a few goals, and it got me thinking, was I wrong? And do I still regret it? Now, one of the key reasons why I actually regretted it was the cost. I had a few other reasons which I delved into in the video, but the main one was the cost. At the time of filming, I had been injured with my hip for nearly 2 months. I couldn't run, doing cycling in the gym was hard, and I was beginning to get really frustrated with where I was physically, and I felt I could be further along. The weather was getting nicer, I was losing fitness, I'd put on a fair bit of weight, and before that I'd also had shin splints as well, which was, it was my own doing, that one was idiotic. So we don't expect sympathy for that one. But maybe I spoke too soon on that, because it actually showed me what not to do in preparation for things and has helped me enjoy running again this year. It's similar to a concept that Chris Williamson talked about with David Goggins, which was reverse role models. And it was, you might not have a great role model, but maybe you've got someone that can show you what not to do. You don't want his life, you don't want their relationship and so on. And it shows you how not to act rather than how to act. Well, my 100k showed me how not to approach a race and how not to train. So one of the key things I actually got from it was understanding my body. I thought discipline was grit and determination even if you were injured and you hated it. I was probably wrong. I pushed my body to beyond its limits, and I wasn't actually fit enough to do the 100k run. Now, I actually really prioritise rest. Let's take last week, for example. So on Monday, I got up at 5, and then I had some other things to do. I was at work, and I didn't go to bed till nearly midnight. The next day, I woke up at 7, so I had about 7 hours sleep. But then again, I didn't go to bed until about 11, half 11. And then I had to get up at 5:30 again the next day. And I was exhausted. I was shattered. I'd only done a run on the Monday morning before work. I was meant to do one on Wednesday. I didn't do it because I felt so tired. And then on Thursday, I felt a bit better, but I decided not to do it because I thought, I'm still a bit tired and I don't know if my body wants to do it or not. So I'm going to give myself the day off again. So then I didn't run again until Friday morning. And the run felt great. I skipped a few runs due to rest, and actually today I got a PB in the 5k. I got 18:34. I took like 16 seconds off. 18 seconds. I rested most of the week. So it shows that resting does work, and understanding your body and its limits can help you improve. Before the 100k, I actually hardly ran. I had shin splints from November. December I really didn't do anything, and in January I really didn't do anything. So some of the hustle culture, mental grind and go get with it. What the fuck does that mean? But others might say you're stupid and that's going to lead to injury. And in my case, the second group is right. My shins got worse, I damaged my hip, I didn't really focus on strength and conditioning, I wasn't really resting, and I got injured and couldn't run for ages. So in that moment I did regret it. But now, 10 months on, maybe I needed to do it to show me how to rest and how to train. I want to ask you a question, and it's, what do you see running as? Because for a while, I saw it as training the mind, which it obviously does. But I went a bit too far the other way in terms of getting caught up in the hustle culture and winter arc stuff that's on social media, and it made running unenjoyable for me. So I went back to how I started. I tried to remove my ego and being better than other people, because there's always someone better, unless you're Kipchoge, someone's probably going to break his sub 2 hour marathon in an actual race soon, so there's someone better than him, and then someone better will come along, and then we'll all be dead and everyone will forget us. That was a bit bleak, wasn't it? Sorry about that. The point is, I removed my ego and I started running for fun again, which made it fun. It made me fall back in love with running and realise why I started doing it in the first place, the social aspect. You know, the constant improvement, the getting outdoors, you know, getting outside, not being inside on my phone or, you know, just scrolling all the time. It doesn't have to be the dark grind winter art crap you see on social media. It can be a Saturday morning jog at whatever pace you want and grab a coffee and a cake after, or a cardamom nut. Have you ever had a cardamom nut? They're bloody great. Running is different for everyone, so make it your own thing. Make it yours and how you want to do it. Before, I thought running was you have to go out and do these long grind runs and break your mind down and then build back up a strong mindset. It's different for everyone else. It doesn't have to be that way. If you want it to be that way, go for it. I think having that 100k changed my perspective on running, and it really did make it fun again for me. I don't think I've ever enjoyed running as much as I do now. Another benefit of the 100k was that, well, weirdly, it built me a strong aerobic base, because I don't have actually any science for this, because I didn't really track any of it, so I don't know. But I imagine the slow runs on the weekend, doing 20, 30k for a few weeks and then running 100k, probably did get me used to building an aerobic base, which has helped now in trying to go faster. Obviously, I didn't do as much aerobic building as I could have because I had shin splints for ages and then ran the 100k, which was wise. So although physically I got injured and regretted it, maybe in the long run, it has actually helped me physically. As I say, I don't know if that's true, but it certainly makes sense in my mind. And it's also built that mental block of, well, this 5k is not as long as 100k. It's not going to be as long or as hard as that, so you're fine, you can do it. And I've applied that same logic to the 10k and the half marathon. Although they're running it faster, so they are difficult in a different way. At least I'm not outside for 16 hours. Running the 100, I did regret it at the time, but I think there's a few things that have helped to change my perspective and have actually built that base, and have also really made me understand my body and training that have helped me more in the long run. So do I still regret the 100? I don't think so. But there were a few other reasons as to why I regretted the 100k, and I bet you're sat there wondering, Bran, what are they? Tell me what they are. Well, if you do want to find out what they are, why not click this video up here and you can find out for yourself. It's just right there. Come on.